Hello, good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Fulford, Kelvin, Rozier here with you tonight. Missing our third member of the team, Marcus Green, who handling business, handling duties. I know he will at some point come join the show, as he always conveniently likes to do. No, we kid, we love, we know Marcus has got some obligations, and so we give him a hard time, but it's done with love. Kelvin, how you doing tonight, my man?
Doing wonderful, man. I've got some champions we're gonna celebrate. We got one team that was in action today we're gonna talk about. And then in the second hour we got to talk about some distressing news in terms of this presidential search, but this too shall pass.
Yeah, a lot of obviously for the family, been a crazy last few days. Been a crazy last few days to say the least, and I think we have we hit that point yet where the opinions and the shock, have we moved past that stage of that they say there's stages of grief or maybe stages of shock when there's stories like this happen? Have we moved to the next stage, whatever that next stage is?
Absolutely. I always bet on Rattler Nation. Rattler Nation is going to do what Rattler Nation is going to do, and I've already seen some organizing going on. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of calls going on right now with Rattler Nation, and I know folks are working on server tiers and levels. We got some celebrities who working on some things and using their platform. So we're gonna take this lemon and make lemonade.
Well said. That look, I understand we in this format, we primarily talk, 90, 85% sports. But again, we do get into topics that affect not only just sports, but our university that we love. And so I will say, I thought about getting a nice little graphic and kind of having a disclaimer, to kind of have one of the disclaimers that starts to show off by just saying, the views expressed on today's episode of the O&G StrikeZone do not reflect the views of the Black College Sports Network or Jericho Broadcast Networks. The views are the opinions of the host and the guest. Okay. Now that I've said it, let go. We can let go and let loose now, for whatever it's worth. Because, we'll get into it a little bit later. I mean, because there's a lot of stuff. But we do have, as you said, we do have things that are happening as it relates to our athletic teams. Baseball is currently in the midst of the SWAC Baseball Tournament in Birmingham, Alabama. So we'll talk about that. There's also all kinds of the news of athletics continues. Even with all of this other stuff going on, the news of athletics continues. So first off, I'll say I thank any and everybody who is watching us live. We understand there is a segment of our normal population who might be watching or dual tasking, might be watching a little bit of us and also watching, the some of the other things that are happening as it relates to the town hall, the town hall that is happening, the virtual town hall that's happening. So Anybody who's joining in live, we say hello and thank you. Hit the thumbs up and the like button, however, wherever you're watching us on Facebook, on X. Well, obviously, you can't do that on X, but you can always leave a comment on X. Hello to anybody watching on Instagram Live. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, whether it be our O&G StrikeZone YouTube page or the Jericho Broadcast Network's YouTube page at MyJBN Online. Of course, big day today. So let's get into the headline news, Kelvin. Give me a second and make sure I can appropriately pull up the right graphics here, because for some reason your boy was oddly unprepared. I'm just.
I get it though, man. I see you got your gear on. You dressed out because
Thank you for acknowledging, because I didn't want to bring it up, because people get in their feelings. They're like, oh, no, exactly. I'm all about it today.
No, you a nap time native. I understand.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know why isn't this graphic coming up the way I want it to. What? Let me see. Where did I save it at? First off, that's the problem. All right, give me a second, Kelvin.
Well, I just want to say, Knickerbockers, New York Knicks, Knick-Knack, give a dog a bone, Pacers in 5.
Ooh, man, I would love for that. I would love for that to happen. I'm gonna. I would love to see it in 5, but let me see if this works. Okay. Yeah, in a second we'll get to some of the shout outs here in a second. I just want to make sure make sure this video actually, or this graphic works that I'm trying out. Okay, let's see if it works. Bam. All right, there we go. Look at that, Kelvin. Look at that. All right. Yep, so that's what we can start with. FAMU Baseball opened up the 2025 SWAC Baseball Tournament today. Game 2 of the tournament, and got a 9-1 victory, avenging that nasty 17-1 loss to Southern way back in February. I don't know if anybody I didn't even remember it until we were doing the show on Sunday. And then I looked up and was like, oh, yeah, we have played Southern. We just didn't play them during the regular season.
We didn't play them that game either.
No, we sure as hell didn't. No, we didn't. But the game, obviously, on the SWAC Digital Network was the second game of the day. What do you make of? Let me ask this. I didn't get a chance to talk to you prior to this. Drew and I did a little breakdown of this on Sunday's show. But the format, of course, the B bracket and the A bracket. The Rattlers are in the B bracket. We finished a half a game, one game in the loss column behind the regular season champions Bethune-Cookman, and they finished in the A bracket. But they had a 9 a.m. Central Time start.
Yes.
We had a noon Central Time start, or
yes.
noon. So and then when you look at the bracket in its entirety, we actually, I think, have the better bracket. We may have a slightly tougher bracket, but in terms of the times, I think we have the better bracket. What's your take on the bracket and the formatting?
I just don't think that SWAC puts enough incentive for winning the regular season title or finishing in the top 2 in the tournament. 1 and 2 seed nice, and I know you're playing the lowest seed, but essentially you're playing the same amount of games, and if you hit the losers bracket, you got to play more games or the same games that anybody else. So I don't see and then you play the first 2 games, the 1 and 2 seeds play the first 2 games. I mean, I just don't think they incentivize the regular season enough. So I'm not a fan. I know we're only bringing the 8 squads there, so I'm pretty sure, you know, balancing the schedule may be a little more challenged. But I think the right thing to do to put value with winning the regular season title or finishing in the top two is to have a bye for the top two seeds and let the lower seeds battle it out on day one. That would make more sense to me. And I hope that someone advocates for that. In terms of who's on our side, I don't think it really matter in some senses. But I will say that we had three hottest teams in the SWAC in our bracket, right?
Mhm.
So Southern had, you know, close to a double digit streak until, you know, last series. Pine Bluff has been one of the hottest teams in the last 3 weeks. And then, of course, we coming in with 11-game win streak. So I do think that we have the hottest teams in the SWAC, the three hottest teams on our side. But at the end of the day, this team is extremely fundamentally sound. I mean, one of our freshmen had 3 hits today in Perez. So, you know, very young team. This team will be good for a while, but they were solid. You know, our freshman, Tallahassee, Florida, had a good outing as he has most of the SWAC season. And you know, if we can just board the loser bracket one more time, we get that win tomorrow. I think we position very nicely to put ourselves in the championship game running.
Right. So, just in case anybody wasn't familiar, before we talk a little bit about that 9-1 victory over Southern, as you can see, the bracket as it is, we are on the same side of the bracket as UAPB and Grambling, which they are scheduled to play here a little coming up here shortly. So we play tomorrow at 6 p.m. against the winner of this game. Now, we swept UAPB. We took 2 of 3 against Grambling, but I will say we may be the hot team right now, having now won 12 in a row. But in my opinion, the second hottest team is UAPB. From the standpoint of, I charted since April 11th, they have gone 13-4 in SWAC contests, which, 13-3. Either 13-3 or 13-4. I wrote it down somewhere. But still, it's a pretty impressive record and they started off the season very poor. I mean, they only have like 18 total wins on the season, 18 or 19 total wins, and 13 of them have come since April 11th. So the last 2 months, they have been playing some great, actually, hell, yeah, not even a full 2 months, but a month and a half, they have been playing some really good baseball. And so I will not be surprised if they beat Grambling tonight, and that's who we end up playing tomorrow. And just in case anybody wondered, the other side of the bracket, Bethune-Cookman won earlier today, a score 5-3 against Texas Southern. They were trailing 3-0 to start the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game that just ended, what was the final score? Alabama State beat Jackson State
By 1.
1? Really? It was like 6-1 when I stopped, like 7 or 6-1 when I stopped watching.
Yeah,
One run.
it ended up being, I think, 7-6.
Woo! Wow. Okay. So you got an old East showdown between Bethune and Alabama State on the other side, and then an elimination game between Texas Southern and Jackson State is happening on that side. So again, 9-1 victory. FAMU scored 9 runs on 11 hits, committed 1 error. 1 run for Southern and 7 hits and 1 error as well. They scored that 1 run in the top of the 7th. And in which case, FAMU got out to a 3-0 lead, scoring a run in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Then Brody. Now I'm trying to figure this out. Is it Brody Popple or is it Brody Papel?
Man,
because
he ain't French. He from the South.
What does that mean? Is it Popple or is it Popel?
That's like asking me, is my name Roger or Rosier or Rosier? In the South, he popple.
all during the broadcast, and I even heard it from the PA announcer, Popel. So I'm like, Popel, and I'm like, okay. I always thought it was Popple.
We've never called him that in Tallahassee.
I
That's
didn't
all I'm
in
saying.
Tallahassee, he's never been called that. So I didn't know if I should send a text to somebody who was part of the broadcast. I just let it go. But anyway, Brody hit a 2-run homer in the third inning to go up 3-0, and the score remained like that until the 7th inning when Southern
exploded.
Yeah, Southern scored a run to cut it to 3-1, and then we jumped all over them in the bottom of the 7th inning, scoring 6 runs.
I think they used about 3 or 4 pitches that inning.
Maybe so, yeah. Jalen Niles got a double to left center with an RBI. Then Brody came up again, tripled to bring in 2. Then Jay Campbell grounded out, bringing in an RBI, which scored Brody. And then Riles doubled to bring in 2 more runs. So all in all, that was a big inning. And it was so big that at one point they were talking about the run rule being applied, at that point, because the SWAC is playing with the 10-run rule. Mm-hmm. So had we scored, 2 more runs in that bottom of the 7th inning, that game would have been over.
And we did leave at least 1, I think 2 on base that inning.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at the numbers. This was a game where we didn't have an overabundance of guys left on base. In total, we only left 6 on base. So I thought that was pretty good for us. You mentioned Brody. He went 2 hits in 4 at bats, scored twice, had 4 RBIs, walked 1. You also mentioned Jay Campbell. He had 2 hits on 5 at bats with an RBI. Let me see. Going down to here, the big. I guess I should have mentioned him first, but third baseman Matthew Perez, 3 hits on 4 at bats.
Yep.
A run scored and an RBI. Colton Riles, who I mentioned, he was 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. Jalen Niles with a hit, an RBI, and a run scored. Justin Cruz with a hit and 3 at bats. So all in all, it was a good day for the Rattlers. On the mound, Garrett Workman, who was the freshman of the year, elected as the freshman of the year. So congratulations to Garrett. He picked up his 9th win of the season. Pitched 5 2/3 innings, gave up no runs, none earned. He did give up 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. And in looking at the pitch count, Kelvin, he had 102 pitches at that point thrown. So it could have been just a numbers game in which, Coach Shoup decided not to let him go too far.
I believe that's what Coach was thinking, just in case it was still tight then. Just in case, worst case scenario happened and he needed to pitch him on 2 days rest versus, in the third game, in a loser bracket game or something. I think he showed his time, but everything worked out and we're set up really nice with our pitching rotation for these next two games.
Yeah, Cody Williams came in, pitched 2 in the third. He did give up the earned run and the run, but that was the only hit that he did give up in 2 1/3. He faced 7 batters. And then Ryan Young came in to close out the game in the 9th inning. So, pretty good day for FAMU. Now we go into game number 2 with our number 2, who will most likely be Carson Kelly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll go to Carson in the second game. Want to mention? I guess we should mention the all SWAC honors. We did mention
Workman.
but first team all SWAC, Brody Popple. We're going to call him Popple.
That's right.
First team all SWAC behind the plate, I believe, as the catcher. And then Jay Campbell. I believe Campbell, was he the third base or DH?
He did both, as well as pitch. He's our number 3 pitcher at this point. But at third base is where he made first team all SWAC.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking here, trying to see. Yeah, third base is where he made first team all SWAC. So congratulations to the freshman. He definitely also could have been up for the running for freshman of the year, but I think he'll be just as pleased with making first team all SWAC in his freshman season.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And unlike the women's side, I have no gripes at all with the selection of the teams for baseball. I thought they were really fair. There was a lot of players with some really big numbers, including the SWAC Player of the Year that we faced today in Thibodeau from Southern. I mean, his numbers are astronomical, off the charts. Of course, Bethune have some really good guys. Alabama State have some really good guys. So I thought they took the voting seriously, and it looked like it did.
Okay. Yeah, and look, no complaints when you have it set up in a way where everybody plays everybody. I think they got it right. They got it right in all kinds of facets. The young man from Southern, who was one of the top hitters in the nation, was definitely deserving as the hitter of the year. Matter of fact, looking at what he did against us, only 1 hit in 4 at-bats. And I'm speaking of left fielder Cardell Thibodeau, who bats second in the lineup. So we held him in check all day. One hit in the 4 at-bats. He struck out once, walked once. He did actually score the lone run in the contest. So, goes to speak to his ability, even in the game. But that's
the key. That's the one thing we didn't control against Grambling last year. We let their best player beat us every time we faced them. But not just us. Everybody else let them beat them too. So if you control those hitters, especially if they're 1-2 hitters, then it bodes well for us.
Nice. All right. Well, let's get ready to take our first break, because when we come back, we're going to talk to some champions, some SWAC champions. We're going to talk to our championship head coach, the director of track and cross country, Garfield Ellenwood II, and also talk to some of the SWAC champions, the fastest woman in the SWAC, Nia Blocker. We're going to talk
most
to
entertaining male runner in the SWAC,
and Kirk Dawson, and then Ariana Ladson and Caitlin Smith. Two bad young ladies. I mean, they get it done, boy. So I mean, we're gonna talk to all of them coming up on the other side. So hang tight with us. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Bryan, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
All right, there you see it right there. None other than the champions. And let's get ready to bring in some champions. First off, the champ is here. Coach, you got us? You got us? Oh, hold on. Let's hear you. Hold on. All right, Coach is gonna come back. I know we got some other champions as well coming in here in just a second. We're gonna bring in along with Coach. We're gonna have Nia Blocker, Caitlin Smith, Ariana Ladson, Kirk Dawkins. Just waiting on to see everybody in the back room. So if everybody's in the back room, make sure everybody's got their cameras turned on, and I'll go ahead and bring everybody into the show here in just a second. Let's see who we got here. Let me see. We got Coach. Coach, we got you?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, good deal.
Right.
Good deal. Coach, how we doing? Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Coach, it's let's see, we've completed the sweep. I don't know what's at the track and field cross country slam is complete. The cross country title, the indoor title, the outdoor title. And I love the way we did it in strong fashion. What are some of the emotions and thoughts on the way the outdoor season closed?
It was really good. I have to admit I was very, very pleased, grateful, thankful, especially the way we performed indoors, for them to come back and actually fight, work hard for something that they said they wanted, and they actually put in the work to go get it. And that's what it's about. Putting in the hard work and then seeing it pay off. That means they know they can do that with other things in their lives.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Kelvin. You got anything for Coach?
Yeah, Coach. On the women's side, you were with about 14 events left. We were down. And it was looking. Woo! Boy, we got a lot of work ahead of us then.
Don't believe the website stats. Don't believe the numbers. Don't believe the numbers. The numbers will lie to you if you look at them too long.
And then all of a sudden, all them sprints started hitting, and those performers start performing. Just talk about the meet itself and the challenge of having to, we really couldn't afford to lose any points those last 5-6 events. Kind of talk about that process and and how the student athletes perform under that kind of pressure.
Well, knowing that the way the meet is set up, the finals are always on the last day.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, it wasn't a surprise. We knew where we were going to be at that point. And I had the same with them. Saturday or that final day, we need to make the scoreboard light up like a slot machine. And that was the mindset, like, okay, the first day is the finals. There is no tomorrow without that day. Everybody do what you're supposed to do to get to the finals, and everything else take care of itself. So going in, it was like, okay, do what we need to do on Sunday, check that box, team meeting, did what you had to do, did what you did to get here. Tomorrow is the finals again. And once we knew going into the final day, which was Tuesday, we knew, okay, we're in a really good position. Now let's just close the door.
Coach, I got one more thing I want to ask. That the last event on the women's side, we were where we needed to be, and so we had a team that they smoked the field. They just absolutely killed it. But they got it was I guess coming over in the lane too soon or something.
Yeah.
Kind of explain what happened on that one.
And I take blame for that, because literally my assistant coach was like, "Why did you change?" And what I did, what my mindset was, okay, Naya had ran 100, 200, 4x1 that day. She usually she runs first. She ran first. So I said, okay, I'm gonna put my quarter miler, my freshman quarter miler had only run the 400. Put her first, and then put Naya second. That way, she's gonna run the turn hard, and everything else take care of itself. Well, she's not used to running second, so she broke at the cone, not realizing, but she had an eye on the young lady in front of her. So I'm going to get her, and she drifted down one lane and then broke after the cones.
Gotcha.
But again, I take full responsibility for that. I should have done a better job of explaining, and trust me, it won't happen again.
It's all good, Coach. We love that about you. We love that. All right, let's bring in some of your championship student athletes. Let's first start off and introduce the fastest woman in the SWAC, none other than Naya Blocker, the 100 and 200 meter champion. Naya, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone.
Hi, guys.
All right.
Hey, Naya.
And then let's bring in a pair. They're working tag team here from a remote location. We've got Caitlin Smith, winner of the 400 meter hurdles, and then we've got Ariana Ladson, the 100 meter hurdle champion, as well as the high jump champion, long jump champion, excuse me, and also the most outstanding women's track performer. And then let's bring in, as Kelvin said, without a doubt, the baddest and most entertaining man on the track, none other than Kurt Dawkins. Welcome back to the O&G. What up, Rattlers? Congratulations to you all.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Let's start with Naya. Naya, you went ahead and you did the double. You did the 2 on the indoor. You got the 2 in the outdoor. You officially laid the claim as the fastest woman in the SWAC. Talk a little about the what that feels like in the and being able to accomplish that double championship.
It feels great, but I can't say that it's expected, because I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I trained hard for it, and I just executed everything that I did in order to be where I am now.
Indoor, outdoor, is there, what differences? And again, I know, especially with the indoor, you're running 60 and not the 100. any differences? I mean, as people are looking at you and looking at your speed and what you've accomplished this year, is there one event, or is there, I guess, one indoor outdoor that you prefer, or are you like, hey, I'm a complete athlete at this point?
Honestly, I would prefer anything except for the 400. Yeah.
That's all right. This is a safe space, Nia. You can say that. You can say that. It's all good.
Yeah. I like the 200. I would say my least favorite would probably be the 60, just because, as Coach G say, I'm a grandma, so it takes me a little longer to really get to my top speed. So I would say the 200 is my favorite.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin, if you had another question for Nia, or we want to keep going down the line, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I got a question for Nia. You not only did you have the individuals sports that you won, but you also was on the relays, and just talk about what it takes conditioning wise to be able to perform like that, and then on a last day, all those points was needed, all those championships was needed. Just talk about the work and the grind of being in shape to be able to perform and run a event that you don't personally like.
For me, it's always just about not being selfish. So if I know that I have to do something and my coach, like, he's saying, oh, you need to do this, I'm just gonna have to, okay, so, yeah, it's just me.
Are you happy with, you won last year also, but you've improved your times. You got some of the top times within the region and the nation. Are you kind of where you thought you would be in year 2 under Coach G?
Yes, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
And notice, folks, year 2, just a sophomore. Represent Bainbridge, Georgia in the house. Year 2. Woo, boy.
Yeah, this team is actually pretty young, and that's what's exciting, because we only have 2 seniors.
Right.
I was gonna say that. All right. We'll come back in a second to you, Nia, but let's go over to the 2 young ladies that are on the screen together there. We got Caitlin Smith and Ariana Latson. Caitlin, winner of the, let me make sure I get it right here, the 400 hurdles, correct, Caitlin?
Yes, sir.
And just a sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina, part of that great recruiting class Coach brought in. 2 great recruiting classes in a year, Coach. Congrats on that. And Hillsdale High School. And Caitlin, I'm sorry if I don't recall. How'd you do in the indoor season?
Indoor, honestly, I didn't place like how I wanted to, but I was able to get points for my team to help try to get a championship. My main goal was just to be, just to help my team, because I'm not gonna lie, indoor is not really my thing, but I feel like I was able to cover ground and just have fun. So yeah.
And so when you got to the outdoor season, you just shined in the 400. I mean, that was a great race. Talk a little bit about just the preparation that went into it, and crossing and winning that championship, finishing first.
Go ahead.
So a kind of a crazy story. I think right after indoor SWAC, I ended up getting a grade 2 hamstring strain. So I was out for the whole season. And I think about 2 weeks before SWAC outdoor, I went with Coach and just started training here and there. I was also rehabbing a lot as well. But I didn't touch the track. I didn't run until 2 weeks before SWAC came. So during those 2 weeks, I was just training, making sure that I know what to do when it comes to SWAC. Mentally, I was good. Doing a lot of behind the scenes preparation for when I was ready to come back and, do what I had to do. And also just being around my team, the atmosphere was just incredible as well. Everybody was cheering me on at practice and saying, "Oh, you're back. You're finna come back, back better. You're finna come back better than ever." So I would just say, just working hard and remembering what I want to do and my goals, working with Coach G, teammates, and everybody around me, to come to SWAC and relax and just run and just be thankful that I was able to run with no injuries and have a healthy race.
Nice. Oh wow. See, I didn't know the backstory on that. So you
That's
probably
impressive.
impressive. You probably snuck up on a few people in the field that weren't really expecting you to do what you did.
Most definitely.
Nice. Go ahead. Any questions for Caitlin, Kelvin?
Yes, I was just wondering. This is your first year here at FAMU?
This is my second year.
This is your
She
second
won
year.
last
Okay.
year.
Okay. All right. So, talk about your progression from last year to this year. I know you had the injury and which limited your outdoor participation. But again, development. Are you kind of where you thought you would be at this point? From last year in terms of your performance, and where do you go from here?
So I would say coming in, running collegiate track, I didn't really know much, but being under Coach G's training really helped me shape who I am today with perseverance, working hard. I came to FAMU kind of soft a little bit, I won't lie, but during the practices and all that stuff really helped me go through the hardest workouts and training and seeing my progression. During last season, I was like dropping seconds every meet, being top 3. It really boosted, my performance and also my confidence. So with all of that, I rolled that into this year. This year, I was focusing on becoming stronger. So fall training was really good. Indoor, it was good too, but got to conference and didn't do what I wanted to do. And then after I got injured, I made sure to do rehab and building my body from ground zero, basically. So it was going to the pool, making sure I do exercises, a little jogging here and there. So I would say after opening up, I'm in a good spot. I don't, of course, I want to see myself a little further with my times, but despite what has been going on, I feel like I'm in a good spot. I'm exceeding what I was kind of counting on, not running this year. So coming back and doing what I did and only being about a second off from my PR from last year was just amazing. So I feel like I got it in me to go 54, 53. I feel it in me. So we'll just see what's going to come for the future.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Rack up the medals too.
Yes, sir.
And then right there next to you is Ariana Latson. Welcome to the O&G. The freshman. Where are you from, Ariana?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, Baltimore, Maryland. True freshman. And the accolades. I'm just going to run down the list because we kind of did the numbers and showed it last week. First place in the 100-meter hurdles, first place in the long jump, second place in the 100 meters, second in the 200 meters. It was kind of, obviously, so you get the distinction of being the second fastest woman in the SWAC next to your teammate, which is pretty dope. And then you were part of the 4x100. And I did the math, Coach. And I don't know if you've had this, you probably have. You've been coaching for a while, but by my count, she was a part of 46 of those points, 46 points from those 5 events. An outstanding performance, Ariana. What was that experience like for you? Your first SWAC outdoor and to be able to do it on a big stage the way you did it?
It honestly was a great experience. It was kind of unexpected to do what I did. Like, like it was really unexpected, honestly. Especially with hurdles. For me, I didn't really have confidence in my hurdle races, indoor or during the outdoor season. I honestly wanted to quit hurdles, but when I got to SWAC, I just felt like I needed to put everything on the line. And during our team meeting, one of our coaches said, "Your mind is stronger than your body." So when I got on the line, I knew that hurdles was the most mental race that I had that like honestly takes a toll on me. So I continued to tell myself that like as they're saying on your mark and stuff like that, and just happened like.
so modest. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Yeah, that that many events, that many points, those many medals, that don't just happen. That's a testament to the coaching you get as well as the hard work that you put in.
Yeah.
You had a really successful high school career also.
Thank you.
What is it that you think what have you learned this track season, your first year running collegiate track? You racked up quite a few medals. This is your first year on the Coach G. Tell me one or two lessons you've learned.
A lesson I would learn is that like one bad race doesn't define you as an athlete at all. I used to have bad races and like just let it dwell on all the other races that I did good in during that meet or anything like that. So one bad race doesn't define you. You still have more to achieve in your life, and especially me as a freshman, I still have years to go with track. And another thing is like if you don't have the right mindset, you're not gonna go anywhere in life without having like a strong mindset. And really that's honestly it. Like you have to be strong mentally and physically in order to achieve that much in life.
Very good. Two very good lessons.
Nice. We'll come back in just a second, but let me get over to Kirk. Kirk, welcome back to the O&G, man. It's good to have you back on the show as a champion, of course. How you doing?
Thanks for having us. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on before you get started, Kirk. I'm disappointed, man. I didn't see no kisses being blown.
He was warned.
A little too much, huh, Coach? A little too much.
No, I mean it's just you don't want to give anyone any reason to take anything away from you. Some people don't. I mean, competing, it was worse than that. But now it's about sports.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Didn't take away from him though.
No, I got it. Kirk, 800, 1500. You did the thing again. The talk a little bit about now. You kind of employed the same strategy. Is that just that's just the strategy? You kind of lay back and then you surpass them in that last lap or two. I'm surprised that no one else has gotten used to that yet. But just talk a little bit about the strategy and all that goes into that.
Okay, great question. So as it relates to the strategy, each strategy is, I would say, being brought out. It depends on how the race is going. So I don't really go into races with a set strategy. It's all about doing what is needed to get the win at the SWAC championship or any championships rather. So as it relates to the 1500 meters, in the heats, it was the winner of each heat plus the next 8 best times, I think. And what happened was, it was all about conserving energy. So coach told me that just go there, position yourself, and just get into the finals. I didn't win my heat in the 1500 meters, and a lot of the coaches in the SWAC, they were like, Mr. Dawkins, you can't do that. We're gonna get you this year. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. But we already knew the plan, what we had in the final, what we were gonna do in the finals to execute to get the gold medal. So coming to the finals now, I know that the athletes that I was going up against, they don't really have the foot speed that I possess as it relates to finishing. Because in practice, Coach G and Coach K, they implement a lot of speed work, as you can see. So it was all about positioning myself, staying in the top 3 so that I can strike at the right moment, and that's what I did. So the first 2 laps, I saw the guys got out. Victor Kibet, that was my competitor from Bethune-Cookman. He beat me at the UCF Nights invite. I think it was like a month ago. And we went back to the drawing board and we said, hey, better positioning. You won't get a chance to do that again at SWAC. And that's what we did.
And that was a PR for you. I'm just looking here. That was a PR for you in the 1500. Do you have and I apologize if I asked you this on the indoor level, but do you have a preference between the 15 and the 8, or are you like, I'm good with both?
Okay, so what happened was the first year I came to FAMU, I kind of messed up. So Coach K, she loves the 800. That's her go-to. So what happened was I went out in the first 2 laps of the 800 leading, and I think that I was taking like all of the pressure in my chest as it relates to pacing. So the guys left me in the last 200 meters of the race. And I saw the Earl and Coach K face and Coach G, they were like, hey, what was that? So it was basically strategy. That's what diminished my performance at the 2024 Indoor Track and Field Championship. And we came back and we were like, hey, once you get the strength and the speed, there's no reason for you not to win the double. But the preference for me, I always tell my team that the 1500 is for you. And once I win the 1500 meters, so the 1500 meters for the team. That 10 points for the team. And once I win the 1500 meters, the 800 meters for me. So I take that one for me and Coach K and Coach G. That one is personally for me. Yeah. So I like the 800 meters more. That's my go-to.
I love that. I love that. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So I want to get into the strategy of running the 1500. You rely on your speed, as you say, in your kick in the last lap. Really the last 220 of it, it looks like. But how do you not talk about what you're doing in lap 1, 2, and 3 to not get caught inside, so that you're in position to be able to get through a hole and be able to do that burst down the stretch?
Okay, great question. So as it relates to the 1500 meters, it's 3 3/4 of a lap as it relates to that. So what I tend to do is in my first 400 meters, or rather first 300 meters of the race, I always use that to feel out the pace, to see the effort that I need to possess to be in the right pace of strike, as I said earlier. So anything from 45 seconds to 47 seconds for the first 300 meters, I know that, hey, we're on a pace that's going to be somewhat quick of a time. And anything below that, as it relates to, or above that rather, as it relates to 48, 49, 50, that's basically running on a girl's pace for me. So I'm like, okay, we came through the first 300 meters. As I said, Victor led the pace, came through 45. And I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be somewhat quick of a time. And I just stayed poised, relaxed, not trying to take any pressure, not stiffing up my neck or anything of that sort. I just relaxed, breathing, and I'm like, I got 400 speed over my competitors in the 1500 meters. So I'm like, once I stay with them, no matter who it is, not trying to be cocky or anything, but you're not going to leave me at the end of the race. Once I can see you on the back stretch, you're not going to be able to left me as it relates to finishing in first position. So I just positioned myself top 3. Coach K, Coach G calling out the times, 60, 61, 62, 64, and I came through 63, I think, for the first lap, and I was like, hey, this feels comfortable. And as it relates to that, I just positioned myself in the top 2. I saw the Texas Southern guy leading the pace. He started looking around. And once I see you start looking around, I know that, hey, you're feeling the burn. So I just positioned myself top 2 the second lap, and I just made my move on the 150 to go. And that's what came to go in the 1500.
Well, I can tell you, man, I don't miss any of your races when I can watch it, man, because it's just something to see. You come from the middle of the pack, sometimes even farther, and to just run down the field, and not just run down the field, but create distance. Going away, and I saw that. I can't remember if it was the 1500 or the 800, but I saw you had to put a little more effort into it because it took a little more time to get through all the traffic in front of you.
Yeah.
So
yes,
you really
it was 800 meters.
800, okay.
800 is 1 hour. I think it's like an hour after the 1500 meter. So what happened is the guy, I went into the SWAC with the fastest time in the 800 meters. So I know that majority of the guys, they're looking they're not going to be so confident as it relates to leading out with a fast pace, because they're going to be like, hey, you have the fastest time. If we make it fast, it's a 99.9% chance he's going to can stay with us and kick left us in the last few meters of the race. So I was anticipating a slow lap, the first 400 meters. For me, slow is like 54 seconds, 55, and somewhere of that sort. But the guy that led from UAPB, he came to 53.9, so that was pretty much close to what I anticipated. And as I said, I split 46 on the 400 meters, so I know that 46 seconds in comparison to a 53 seconds, that's like a 7-second or an 8-second difference. So that's pretty much comfortable for me as it relates to coming through the first lap. So seeing that they came to 53.9, everyone was, they're looking to see where is Kirk. They're like, is he in a position to strike? Where is he? But I'm comfortable. So I came through, I was like, it's not needed to come through 52 or 53, seeing that I just finished the 1500. It's basically me just staying comfortable until I can strike at the moment, right? So the leader came through 53 and I came through like 55, so 2-second difference. And I know that I can close in like a 55 or better based on the work that we've done in practice, because Coach Ken, Coach G, they always try to get me at like 400-meter repeats or, pacing through my 800. I always come to like 51 or better. Sometimes I even try to go like 48 or 49. So I know that 52 to 53, that's pretty much comfortable for me to strike at the end. And I saw at the 600 meters with 200 meters to go, I saw my competitor from Alabama State. He started looking around, swinging. So I was just like, hey, Kirk, just stay with him close, try to stay relaxed. And on the straightaway, once you start to increase it, because it's a momentum thing. It's not just pressing the body, it's just momentum. Tapping, building up into the run to see that you can strike at the right time. So on the straightaway, I saw him looking around, swinging. Coach was like, hey, stay relaxed and just pump the arms. And I just relaxed my shoulders, drop my head, and swing my arms. And I saw that I was going to catch him. And mind you, he's my teammate from high school in Jamaica. So it was pretty much of a friendly rivalry. Yeah.
Okay. Very cerebral. How you break that down, man? Even a layman can understand.
For sure. Hey, Coach, let me ask you, because one thing that I hear from these amazing young people is the mental game. Like, I mean, we often hear how champions, the difference between good and great and excellent is how well they master the mental game. What is it that you and your coaching staff do with them, or what is it that you have worked or trained with them on to help them be able to master the mental game? And I think all of them have kind of shown through just this conversation how important the mental game is, and even having to overcome maybe some of their own doubts or maybe fears or other things.
Well, I think as a staff, we all bring a different element. Like, for instance, Coach Thomas, when Ariana referenced what Coach Thomas said, he has over 40 years of coaching experience. So we all bring a different element, how we communicate with them. They'll tell you, if you can deal with me, you can probably make it through just about anything, because I'm hard. And I'm honest, but I'm hard. But I also want them to believe in themselves, and I care about them, because at the end of the day, when they've got to be prepared for life, and if I can help them, or we can help them not make one mistake that we made, then we're on the right track. So I come at them, we all come at them from a mental standpoint. We got sports psychologists. Some of them have taken the opportunity to speak to the sports psychologist, and I commend them on it, because it can't always come from us. They see us on a daily basis. They need a safe space to be able to get out some of the thoughts that they have, because this whole social media world has put them in a different place where sometimes they can't express themselves, how they're feeling, or the fears that they might have, because they're worried about what other people have to say. So I come at them from the stand. I say, hey, if they're not putting food in your mouth or money in your pocket, don't worry about it. But again, that's me. They hear that from me all the time. They need someone else to talk to. Coach Pinchin comes at it from a different standpoint. Coach Love is closer in age to them, so he can come at it from a different standpoint. Then Coach Thomas has his point. So they have 5, and then Coach Detweiler, he comes, so they have different people that they can talk to, but they all hear the same message. It's just a different way.
Gotcha. Okay. What is next? What is next? Because at this point now we've had the conclusion of the SWAC. The NCAAs are approaching. I know some of our students and some of these young ladies and men have. I think they've qualified, but I don't know. Tell us what is next.
Yeah, the NCAA regional meet begins next Wednesday with the men competing first, and then the women start on Thursday. The list literally just came out. Looks like we have 13, 12 have advanced, which last year we took 5.
Okay. Wow.
So now we're at 12, and the goal is to continue to just keep raising the bar. Excited about all of them have the opportunity to advance from this first round to the final round in Eugene, Oregon. All we have to do is do what we did to get to this point.
Are we breaking any news, or have you told? I mean, does everybody know who's going, or?
No, it just we literally just got the email. Coach Kinsey just sent me the email with the list of people on it. So
you feel like you want to break some news while we're here? I mean
we're good.
Hey, go ahead, Coach. If you want to break some news, go ahead. Let's do it. We love it.
We're good. I didn't go through it. I just saw it, and she's like, I think we're good. Let me make sure.
All right. See, this is what we love about the O&G. We get to break news. See, right here, fresh off the press. We're gonna find out who the 12 people are that are competing in the NCAA region. Look, everybody get a little closer to the screen. Look, ears perk up. I love it. That is awesome.
Hello?
Hold on, while Coach is doing that, I'm gonna come to one question for everybody. So I'm gonna give Coach a chance. I'm gonna come to Naya, Ariana, Caitlin, and Kirk. I want you to kind of maybe in a sentence or a word summarize the season for you.
Okay. All right.
So Naya, we're gonna start with you first. So, question for I'm gonna give you a second, Coach. I'm gonna ask the student athletes to summarize the year, either one word or a sentence, and then we're gonna come to you, Coach. All right, we'll start with Naya. Naya, go ahead.
Can I go last?
Oh, boy. All right, you know what? You're right. No, I got you. We'll make the freshmen go first. So Ariana, you got to go first. So see, since you're the freshman, since you're the baby, you got to go first.
In one word, I would say roller coaster.
All right. That's not bad. All right, Caitlin, since you're next to it, we got to make you go next.
I would say a sentence would be God is good. That's my sentence for the season.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. Kirk, since Naya's the fastest one, so she's the fastest woman in the SWAC, she gets to go last because we know she's going to be quick. So we're gonna come to you, Kirk. We're going to come to you.
My word is just unreal.
Unreal. Okay. All right. So now you had a chance to kind of think about it. What do you say?
I would say a word to describe. I feel like a word to describe all of our season would be prepared, because we've definitely been prepared with all them practices.
Nice. I love it. Prepared. Okay. All right. So now we giving that. How you think? You think of those words, Coach? It pretty sums it up. Pretty good.
Yeah, it sums it up and it sums up who they are. Each one of them, who they are.
Beautiful.
Kurt is who he is. He brings that unreal, and he brings that unreal to practice. Everything Caitlin has been through this season, she showed me that she grew. She became a true collegiate, a woman this season, because when she made it through and to stand up and do it, I tell anybody, I used to mess. You saw, you're a baby. I would call her a baby, and she showed me that she is no longer a baby. She's a woman. And already what she did as a freshman, man, please. I go in the alley with her any day.
Nice.
And Naya, that's my big baby. It is what it is. She get mad when I get on her. She get frustrated with me, but I know she gonna give me everything she got. And that's the thing about it.
Yeah.
This program is finally at a point where everyone gives everything they have. And that's what it's about.
Absolutely.
Wholeheartedly. They take care of each other. They support each other, and everyone is giving what they got. I'm proudest about that.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. All right. So let's kind of close it up, Coach. Let's go through. Are you prepared with the list and information?
Yeah, Caitlin said that. We're all going, all in.
There we go. All right.
We're all in.
Hey, Coach, where is the NCAA the regionals being held?
And UNF in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Okay.
UNF in Jacksonville. We start. The men go Wednesday, Friday, and the women go Thursday, Saturday.
Okay. All right. You hear that, Rattler Nation? So Wednesday. Hold on. Let me look at the calendar. That's the 20. That's the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
28th. Yep. Okay. The 28th and the 30th.
And it'll be streaming as well. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's all right. So the 28th and 30th are the men. The 29th and 31st are the women.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And starts at 6 p.m. It's a night meet. So
perfect.
Give people time to get home from work and things of that nature. But if you can make
Kelvin,
it,
I might need to talk to somebody. Kelvin, we might need to do the show from. I'm calling this now. We might need to do the show from the track next Wednesday. How about that? We might need to work on that.
Well, I can't do Wednesday, but I might be in Jacksonville on Thursday, though.
All right. Well, maybe I'll be there Wednesday, and then I'll be remote, and everybody else will be there. I have to talk that out with our AD or some people. I might know somebody. We have to figure a way how to make that happen.
I can.
Coach, what's that? How you like that, ladies and gentlemen? How's that sound to you? You guys ready?
That sounds good.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Hey, Coach, when is practice?
Tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Off tomorrow. We just got weights tomorrow, and then we right back at it on Friday.
Yes, no practice tomorrow. Oh man, gotta
right
love
now,
that.
It's about being smarter. I got to be working smarter, not harder, right now.
Right.
I got you. All right. Well, Coach, is there anything that Rattler Nation can do? Kind of close it with you and say, is there anything that you need from us? Anything you need from Rattler Nation? Any support? What do we need to do? What do we need to do to help continue as you're out on the recruiting trail, as you're building champions? What do you need from Rattler Nation?
The same as always. You know where we are. Any financial help would be good because again, what we were able to raise this year has allowed me to provide the dry needling, the massage, and the things that keep them healthy and where they are now. So whenever Rattler Nation donates to our foundation, just knowing that that's where it goes. It goes to make sure that they have what they need to be prepared to do what we were able to do, and Lord willing, be able to continue to do it. And if anyone is in the Jacksonville area and it's a good track meet, come on out because we're going to give everything we got, and we're going to strike, and strike again.
All right.
Well said. I'm going to give you guys, Naya, Ariana, Caitlin, Kirk, I'm going to give you a last shout out. Anybody you want to shout out, anything that you want to, say on the way out the door. Start with you, Naya. Sorry, we're going to start with you this time. We're going to start down there.
I would just like to say, sorry, I get a little nervous.
That's all right.
But I would just like to say that I feel like I am overly prepared and I'm ready to shock the world.
All right.
Woo, I like that. That.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Caitlin, Ariana, any shout outs that you want to give?
I just want to shout out my community and my village for supporting me throughout this whole season. And then also my parents. They're able to support me. They came to a couple meets, surprised me actually. So also seeing my family, that helped a lot too, because I'm kind of out of state. So I don't see them as much as I wanted to, but yeah.
Right. Raleigh, stand up. There you go.
I also want to shout out my teammates and Coach G as well. They all had a lot of belief in me as being a freshman and achieving all these things my freshman year. And I also want to shout out my mom. She also surprised me at some of the meets. And it just meant everything to me to see her support here or far. So, yeah.
All right. Shout out to Mom. Shout out to B More in the house. And Kurt, you got it, my man.
Yeah, so thank you. I want to shout out God first. I want to shout out my mom. I want to support my girlfriend. I want to support. I want to shout out the doubters too, because without them, this couldn't be possible. Yeah.
I can't believe there are any more doubters. There can't be no more doubters. Well, hold on. Kirk will find one. That's all right. There's somebody out there that doubts you, Kirk. So that's all right. Keep holding, keep using that as motivation. Hey, well,
I just want to say real quick, very proud of Coach and the entire team and staff. We appreciate you and how you represent Florida A&M, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
And keep going.
Yeah, definitely. Keep going. And to all of you, anytime, any place, anytime you guys want to come on to O&G, whether you want to chop it up, it doesn't have to be about track. It can be about whatever. You got a home right here. And we look forward to talking to you many more times, whether it be indoor season, outdoor season, in between season. You guys got a home right here. So we appreciate you guys coming on the show, and we wish you the best of luck. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we look forward to seeing you guys shock the world, as Naya said, when y'all get up to Jacksonville. All right?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Up.
Exactly. Things up, everybody. Thank you, Coach. We're going to take a break and come back with more right after this. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Kelvin, and look who's joining us. Marcus. How you doing, Marcus?
Doing good. Recovering from shocker, heard around the panhandle. But other than that, and other than it dropping 30 degrees in one day, I'm doing all right.
All right. Good stuff. Well, we're glad you made it in because let's bring in our next guest. None other than returning to the O&G, friend of the program, Brother Rick Kinsey joins the program. Welcome back to the O&G, Brother Rick. How you doing, Colonel Rick?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. Good, Rick.
Man, it's always a pleasure to be on here. I wish, and I'm really sad because you guys got me coming after the track team. You can't beat that. All right, so next time, have me come before that, right? You got an old guy like me coming on. Don't set me up like that again, okay? But that's some great news, man.
Yes.
I'm glad to be back on it with you guys.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we wanted to bring you in later because we can get into real topics, real juicy stuff. While we out there trying to fundraise, we also got serious things happening to our beloved university, and at the same time, we're trying to find ways to process this, to process the news, because I think. And I'm not speaking for any and everybody, but I think for me, I think seeing these young people that we just saw in the last segment and seeing our coach is a big reminder for all of us as alums of who we're fighting for. Mm-hmm. We're fighting to make sure that those young people continue to get the best, not only from an educational standpoint, a culture and atmosphere standpoint, but also we want them to continue to excel on the fields, on the courses, on the track and courts. I mean, right? That's what the alma mater says we're supposed to do, right?
Yeah,
right.
Guys. Sometimes we need to be shaken up, right? Because this is we become complacent, okay? And I tell you that even I get down. I have an executive board called my mother and father. And FAMU can make you mad, right? And then you want to stop giving and stop funding the students. And my mother and father always reminds me when they say, hey, son, our faith is in God, not the pastor. So they can come and go. She said, but what you do for the kids. Don't make it about a person.
Right.
Keep your eye on the prize, which are the kids. Mm-hmm. So that's what drives me. So whenever I'm down, I keep my eyes on the prize. So this whole process, as you all know, last week, it was a black eye. We were totally disappointed. We found out who people really are, right?
Yeah.
And we had so much faith in the Board of Trustees, and they kind of let us down. Mm-hmm. So right now, Rattlers is trying to decide what we're going to do and what's the next move. As you all know, I retired out of the military, and I saw the downfall when we had the $237 million debacle. Mm-hmm. We were not strategic in who we wanted to become the next president.
Right.
Because I kind of scoured around and I looked at Virginia State. I liked that president. I looked at Edward Waters and what they were doing.
Right.
I was saying, why isn't that we're targeting them already and we putting forward who we want, right, to be the next president? And then this bombshell was dropped on us, and probably I was upset just like everybody else because I didn't see any current president that were in the top three. And I wondered why. And we can all look at that. And then it brought, as we might say, it brought Rattler Nations to their knees, right? And then now we're trying to figure out where we going next. Well, if you would have had those kids that were on this show tonight with you, I wish they were at the Board of Trustees or this meeting when they were selecting the presidents. Why? Because that's what it's about.
That's right.
It's about these kids. We got champions that right now is being overshadowed by a selection of presidents when we should be celebrating these kids. Mm-hmm. And so I hope that the call that we have right now, and we have rallied all the Rattlers, how can we best support these kids? I've always been supporting them, right? I'm always looking at ways to raise money because I keep my eye on the prize, which are these kids. And so, this is what we need to do. I wish they was on the show tonight. I was already on another one, to Keep Up the Flames Town Hall. I jumped off that to be here with you all. And I've been on several calls last week, even Friday, when the decision was made. I cut my phone off. I had to focus on other things, right? So I went and picked up my grandson. I took a good hard look at him, and it made me realize what I'm fighting for. I even have a granddaughter that said, FAMU right now, that's a freshman. And so I'm in this fight, man, because when I look at what our kids are doing, I want everybody to think about this for a minute. Look how many SWAC championships we have already won. Yeah. Volleyball, track and field, okay? As you know, golf. I mean, we've got some winning teams, man.
Yes.
And so these non-Olympic sports get no love, right? So when I think about what we're doing and how we support these kids, it's amazing, man. And so if people were watching this show, I wish that every student athlete had an opportunity to go to that Board of Trustees meeting, stand before them and say, this is what it's all about. And what you all are taking away right now are their glory, because it's about them. And so whenever I get down, man, I had a true blessing of calling my mom and dad, and they remind me what it's about. It's about the kids. So as long as it's about the kids, Bryan and Marcus and Kelvin, you know this, I'm in the fight, man. Doing my, as they say, I'm doing that groundwork, right? That grunt work that you don't quietly see, because they have needs. And if y'all don't mind, I want to give a shout out to Black Dollar Gift.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, Kenya,
yeah.
For our volleyball team. So those donations, those things make a difference, right? One of the initiatives that I try to, and I'm still pushing on with the AD, think about this. I look at it as, you know, the Rattlers in Arms and the Plant City chapter, we got the golf team, okay? If a small organization, to include chapters in the NAA, could take one of these Olympic sports and they can provide them and raise about $20,000 for them a year, do y'all know how huge that is?
Yes.
That is huge, man. And so I hope that we can take what we've learned here. We are now galvanizing and everybody's upset and everybody now wants to give back and they want to make it about the students, right? So as we figure out what our strategy is ahead, you know, from a political standpoint of view too, because as you all know, if we don't get a Democrat in there, we're going to continue to have these problems because it's happening at FIU, UL,
UWL,
and now down the street, West Florida.
Yep.
Now, and the thing that makes me mad every time I think about it, they want to go to Michigan and get their president to become the president of University of Florida. Okay.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So, but yet you want to give us what I might deem as the least qualified, and now you want to pay her the most money. So when people ask me, well, Rick, how you feel? I'm upset like everybody else. But I said our Board of Trustees let us down.
Yeah.
Okay, they really did. And we knew some people there. I mean, I'm going to just be upfront about if I can with y'all, okay?
Yes.
Preach, yeah, say it.
And Kevin Lawson, okay? These are Rattlers, man. I already knew what Devron was about. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you that.
Yeah.
But Kevin Lawson let me down. Okay? Mr. White let me down. Mr. Brown let me down. These are so-called guys who went here and understand our plight at Florida A&M University. If nobody else understands what our position is here at FAMU, they did. I mean, our kids come from the biggest city, but they come from the poorest parts. And then when you thump this thing about, oh, we only have a 6% give rate, well, the average is about 7.7 to be realistic, okay?
Right.
All alumni that give. So when you think about if we giving 6% and they're giving 8%, that's pretty much in perspective, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, hey, man, you gonna throw that up in our face like we don't give anyway?
Right.
I'm like, really? Miss me with that, Devron.
Yeah.
So I was totally disappointed. And then what it made us see, we don't have any representation on the Board of Trustees. You got the student government, you got Mr. Brown for faculty, but where's the Alumni Association's representation?
Good point.
Board of Trustees.
Good point.
We don't have one. We don't have a voice. And I would tell you this, I was disappointed in Curtis Johnson. Why? Because the alumni did not speak loudly until the end.
Right.
Okay? So it's like, come on, folks. And again, as a retired military guy, I would have started this process when the $237 million debacle happened.
Yeah.
And as I was telling folks, that has hurt family. Something else I'm disappointed about, guys. Shaquille O'Neal hasn't visited FAMU, and his son was here. Why is that? We sport LeBron James gear. LeBron hasn't showed up yet. And we said we brag different, right? The top HBCU broke into the top 100, and then on the 20 for social mobility, and we can't get any philanthropic dollars in the millions.
Right.
The Kinsey Scott hasn't came to FAMU and said, here go $45 million. So gentlemen, something is just not right with this process, right? Our athletic program, as y'all can see, we win SWAC championships like nobody has ever seen.
Yep.
Just think about it. In these Olympic sports, we're winning. Howard University, Steph Curry puts on a charity event for their golf team, raising anywhere from $3 to $6 million.
Yeah.
Look at our golf team, guys. They lighten it up, right?
Yep. Beat Howard. Matter of fact, beat Howard, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
and I'm sitting there saying, okay, what does it take, right? What else do we have to do at Florida A&M University to show everybody that their investment would be well spent?
Absolutely.
Right? We just want the playing field to be level. So when we're doing the little bitty things that we can do, I hope that it makes a difference, because I know, and you all know this as well, Rattlers will always want to know where their money is going, right?
Yeah.
So the endeavors that I take on, and I'm gonna say we, because I have other individuals that is just as important in this. We do these things because, one, I know what, based on the relationship with Coach Rice, as you all know, we got a good relationship, right?
Yes.
So when you think about, when we talking about now, I'm shifting to the Canopy, right? That we're trying to get to them and why that's important. Do you all know that most people didn't know we had a driving range on campus? Most people didn't know that, right?
Yep.
So back in February, we began this conversation, right? And he said, hey, Rick, out of all the things we need, I need this. And I said, okay, do you think you can win the SWAC championship? He said, I think we got a good shot. I said, well, we will launch it, okay, when you win that. And so think about February, we were having a strategic conversation, and here we are, right? And they lit it up, man. And so I said, now is the time to raise this campaign. Coach, we're going to go out and get those shelters. We're going to do the best we can. And I'm here to tell y'all today that we got over 35 donors. We have raised over $25,000. Okay.
Wow.
And so we got to raise another 25 because the goal is 50,000. And so I think we're going to get there. And then when Friday happened, as you all know, Rattlers were upset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Giving goes with how you feel.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
So my goal was to get this done before
that came out.
Right? Because I said, boy, they just so made they have made raising money a little bit harder, right? And so we've been on the phone calling some folks, because my goal was, I should say our goal is, I said, man, we can reach out to 50 folks and ask for $1,000, and normally we would have had this thing wrapped up in 2 weeks, right? By May 15th, we would have had it wrapped up. And then when Friday came, folks, it was Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And so what I had to do was, what we had to do was get on the phone. And Kevin, I know Kelvin sees a lot of the things. Bryan, you see when I send stuff through Messenger, So what we do was, when we put it on social media, right? That's already because I'm looking to get everybody involved. But I have already reached out the most to say, hey, look, don't get caught up in the presidential selection. We still got some student athletes that people didn't even know that they were playing over at Florida State.
Right.
Okay. And what that was about, why they couldn't defend the HBCU championship, because they had won the SWAC championship. So they would participate in that event. Right. Mm-hmm. So sometimes, as you all know, everything is a news cycle. Something always happens at FAMU that overshadows what our kids are doing.
We keep people in the news, boy. I'm telling you, we talked about that before, didn't we, guys? We always stay in the news, boy. We cannot stay out of the cycle for nothing.
Yeah. And I even go back to when we won the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
It was about Willie Simmons.
We didn't get a month of full celebrating before there was some good news.
And I said, folks, can we just celebrate these kids, right? They are deserving of that.
Yes.
Right? So I'm like, every time we have something good with these kids, okay, man, it gets overshadowed by other things. So what I would like to say is this, man, and y'all, look, I love y'all show because y'all keep it real, right?
Yep.
That's number one. Number two, you tell it like it is from both sides. And y'all always talking about what our student athletes are doing and why is it so important. Mm-hmm. That's why I love this show, because you allow us to come on, those that are fundraising in the fight for these kids and keeping it about the real things about the kids, right?
Yeah.
So I love you guys for that, because y'all understand and you help us get the message out on why this is important. So please, the next time, don't ever bring me in after these SWAC champions, man. Right? That was a major setup. All right, don't do that again. Just get me on another show where nothing major like that has happened. Okay, because that's
I promise to do a segment.
Man.
Look, we'll do a segment and then go to commercial and then bring you in. How about that?
There
I got you next time.
Bring me in doing the commercial when nobody can see it anyway, and so that way we would have had this conversation. And but you know, to y'all point, it isn't about the president; it's about our students. So what I like to do is say, hey, look, we gonna be all right. We needed a shock effect to us as Rattlers, period, right? And we got it. This is the shock and all that we needed. Now, I hope that we have now galvanized ourselves, and everybody now is about let's give to the students, right? And I hear that, and I hear that. As they say to the people in the back room, to the amen corner, hear that, okay? So there are opportunities and ways to support our kids, man. And so what I'm telling you guys, my eyes is on the prize, which are the kids. No matter who the leader is, it's about these kids. And so thank you guys for keeping me in the fight, keeping me encouraged, because I need that as well. And those who support us, because as you all know, these negative things hurt us too. People don't want to give because they're wondering now, well, what's the state of affairs at FAMU? And when I get calls from Bethune-Cookman, oh my God. Now here we go. Now my bragging rights look different now, right?
let me ask you, because you bring up, and it's something that we've seen, I don't know where, but I've seen it in a couple different places. People who are on the outside, we're sort of unique because we stay in the cycle with whether it be the different groups that we're in or just the fact that we are in this media space trying to inform all the time. But for somebody who is casual and then they hear, you may have already heard their stories out there where people are saying, oh, I have so-and-so's mom who was thinking about sending their child or not sending their child back to FAMU. And so those of us who are, like you said, boots on the ground, trying to reach out, what is a good response? And I open this up not only to just you, Rick, but Marcus, Kelvin. What should be that response when we see that post or we hear that message about what's going on at FAMU? Should I really still send my son or daughter down there, et cetera, et cetera?
Hey, before you answer, Rick, let me just jump in real quick because mine's going to be brief. FAMU is still great. It has always been great. It was great before this person, and it'll be great after this person. And our responsibility as alumni and people who love this university and who benefited from this university is to preserve and to take to another level the legacy of this university. And so in doing so, greatness, excellence. Our motto is excellence with Karen. That's still the standard. The standard is the standard, as the coaches always say.
Right.
So excellence is not just from our students and our faculty. Excellence has to come from our alumni. Excellence has to come from our giving. Excellence has to come from our involvement. So we got new leadership at the Alumni Association.
Right.
We're going to have new leadership within the boosters. And it's very important now to put together our strategies, because there's a lot of, in the midst of chaos, there's opportunity.
Yes.
All right. There's a lot of opportunity. Rick is presenting an opportunity right now for folks who want to redirect their resources in terms of support. Well, you pull it from non-discretionary funds out of the foundation to give to this effort. Give the Black Dollar Giving. There's plenty of ways to give and still support our student athletes who are producing excellence, who are champions. So that would be my appeal and my approach. We still got greatness all over the globe with alumni in every industry in the field. So FAMU is not a mistake. It's built in excellence, and we just have to weather this. And last but not least, from a political standpoint, All right, there's a governor race happening in 2 years. You got lamed up.
Right.
Yep.
You can flip some things, man. They got to come. They got to come see us now.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. And Bryan, so I would probably say I'm an exception to that, right? Because 4 of my kids have graduated from FAMU. Myself and my siblings, my father, my 4 uncles. So you look at in its totality, we got over 30 relatives that are Kansas that have graduated from FAMU. Now I have a granddaughter that's at FAMU. So the sell for me is easy because that speaks for itself, right? So then I give my time and my treasure, and I provide scholarships out of my personal funds from my high school that I went to Tampa Bay Tech to kids that are going to FAMU. Okay? Now, I put my money where my mouth is. And I said, so folks, if I didn't think FAMU was great, no matter what we're going through, everybody's going through something, right? The United States of America went through with this president. Look at the terrorists. Did you give up? The answer is no. This too will pass, right?
Right.
So I said, hey, we still great. Like you said, excellence are those kids. We got to change the caring though at FAMU, right? It's our kids are the excellence. I said, man, sir, if y'all don't let your kids go back now because they're facing some bumps in the road, what do you think you teach them in life?
That's right.
Life is going to have bumps in the road.
Yeah.
Is it not? Right? So they must see through this, okay? Just last week, 2 weeks ago, my daughter, I had to move her up to Atlanta because she's attending Emory. Baby girl, as y'all know, who graduated from FAMU, the last of the Mohicans, is now up in Atlanta at Emory. I was still keeping my eyes on the prize while I'm bending my knuckles, back hurting. I had to go to the VA hospital when I got back on muscle relaxers and everything else. Okay. But when I looked at her, and as I told you, in the midst of everything that we were going through, when I went and picked up my grandson, 6 years old, and I looked at him, and I said, I would still want him to go to FAMU right now. Those who follow me on social media, y'all know I call him my grandson, my Rattler grandson. Everybody's a Rattler something, right? My Rattler son who just did a show with CBS, 48 Hours Saturday, he's a producer. So when I see his name, and I'm always about my Rattler son, my Rattler daughter, my Rattler grandson. You know, everybody's a Rattler in my family. So I talk it through, right?
Yep.
Well before they get there. So Bryan, that's why I said mine is a easy sell because I said, folks, I still invest in because they are these kids, and what we do for the athletic program, it's an investment, right? So I believe in it. So if I turn and tuck my tail because we're facing something right now, then what have I done, right? So I would even go a little bit further if you don't mind. I mean,
go ahead.
We wouldn't be here, and we all have some struggles too at FAMU, right?
Right.
Somehow, some way, we saw it through. Okay, so it builds character. So if I'm gonna shift with the wind, you're gonna always shift.
Good point.
And so my thing is, like you said, Kelvin, FAMU is great today. FAMU is here today. It's gonna be here forever, right? And so I just hope that people don't get lost in the noise. And I like to tell them, okay, the president is still the president, right? I don't like Donald Trump, but I know that his time will end soon. So do I lead the United States because of that? The answer is no. Okay, so to y'all point, kids gonna continue to graduate. Okay, so it's hard. It's easy for me, Bryan, because again, 4 of my kids graduated from FAMU. So you know that's why. How can I talk bad about FAMU, right? I can't.
Right.
So that's why it's easy to sell for me, man. And I always tell people, look, just look at what I do, right? I'm constantly up there, and we got this running joke that every time I come to Tallahassee, something must be going on, right? Because it's not football season. I'm like, well, what make you say that, right? So, but no, man. We got to keep, like Kelvin said, and y'all do the same thing on this show, right?
Yeah.
We don't run and tuck our tail. We got to stand behind it. And if you don't stand for something, guess what they say? You'll fall for anything.
That's right.
So I stand.
Yeah. Marcus, you wanna add anything?
I mean, pretty much both summed it up pretty well. But once again, it's an opportunity, as Mr. Kinsey said, during our eras at FAMU, and every era has gone through something. You know, whether we were still in a period of segregation and Jim Crow, and then, you know, coming through 70s and 80s, and Dr. Smith had to fend off Florida State and takeovers in the 80s. You know, we were turning some things around, but there were still issues with the College of Engineering. And so every era has had something. So there's not a need, and the casual person wouldn't know that.
Right.
So it may be incumbent upon us, those who know the history, and FAMU will be around, what, I think we get our 140th anniversary in 2027. So, you know, we can't last that long without weathering some storms. And
That's right.
President, we're on our 13th president.
Right.
Yep. So what that says is school lasts longer than a president.
Amen.
So we just have to make sure, and anyone who's a casual person and that may pull or say, I don't want to send my kid down there because of certain situations, well, then maybe that's just not, you know, that's not the place. And, you know, I'm fine with that. But for the folks who do come and want to come and make a difference, or at least be a part of that legacy, then, you know, the open arms.
Good stuff. Rick, as you saw, I posted again a way for people to support this golf fundraiser by texting FAMU Golf to 41444, and they could choose to give at any donation amount. You know, it could be as low as $25, or you got, as I'm looking at the info that you said,
4 levels, right?
Yeah, the 4 levels.
1,000, 750, 500, 250, and we threw in $100 as sponsors. But to your point, Bryan, we gotten $25 donors.
Yeah.
And so we don't want people to be discouraged by that.
Oh,
okay. No. We want you to give whatever it is you would like to give. And but I know I got some heavy hitters out there, $1,000 guys. They'll sit back in hiding, right? And as you can see, that I wish you had I don't know if I gave you guys a picture of the driving range, because people don't know it's there. But when we erect these canopies, and they're gonna see it, you know.
Keep talking. I'm gonna find it. I know it's somewhere. I'm gonna find it.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you tell people that something, we got a driving range, I say, yeah, we got a driving range on the campus, right? And it reminds me of a miniature Top Golf, right? But when they see these canopies, man, then they gonna know exactly where it is, because it's literally right behind the Took Center. So as you're going down, the baseball field is on the right, the rec center activities for the students are on the left. Because somebody said, I thought that was a batting cage over there. I said, no, man, that's the driving range for the golf team, right? So when we erect those canopies, they will see it, and so yeah, man, that's why I say I appreciate you guys, and we appreciate everybody who supports our initiatives, and thank you all for keeping it in the light. Vaughn has done that with the O&G. I'm sorry, with the
220.
And last night, there you go. They gave us an opportunity to. I spoke with the boosters, so hopefully they'll throw in some money as well. So yeah, that's it, man. And so again, people didn't know it was there, right? And so it was like, yeah, they got that. I said, yeah. So when you're in town, bring your clubs and go over there and, you know, see just how good you are.
And that is open to the public?
Well, you know, Bryan, we could probably make that happen, you know. But see, they won't have a problem letting you guys in there.
Oh, sure.
But I think if you go over there, you know, you can't take a whole, you know, I can't take 30 people over there, right? It actually, you could probably get 6 guys on the pad right there. To hit down range, but it's nice. It's nice, man, and that's why I was telling Coach SCC, and I'm working with AD. We have to advertise these type things, right? Because people don't know that they're there. All we see is, you know, what's taking place at Bragg, what's taking place at the tennis court, the softball field, well, you're not telling everybody the true story, you know. So when we want to help ourselves, we got to tell them why the baseball field is in need of this. Now, we need this shelter or cover for our championship golf team, because anybody who plays golf know that. Look, it's hot out there, right?
Yes.
So now these guys will be able to hit up under that shade. But yeah, man, when we get it up, you know, we got some logos that's gonna go in there real nice. It's something that everybody would be proud of.
Well, we really appreciate everything that you do, Rick. You know, you, like you say, you're a very giving person. You work hard in your retirement for FAMU, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And and we frankly need volunteers and leaders and people like yourself in order to fill in these gaps and to make the rest of us answer the call to do our part, right? You know, it only take a few, and a group will follow. So I appreciate your leadership on this.
Yeah, and I thank you guys so very much, and you all keep doing what you're doing, because I think it's very, very important that Rattlers understand, and you all are a voice, and you give it and you keep it real. So thank you so very much for allowing me to be on. Okay.
Thank you for coming on.
All right.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Have a great evening.
All right, you too. Again, make sure to hit up text FAMU Golf to 41444. Again, you could be a part of bringing that Canopy to the golf program.
Championship program.
Golf program. And again, if you wanted to, you could donate the 4 different levels. Again, you've got the $1,000 level, which they call the master's level, $750 for the open level, the tour level for $500, and the players level for $250. And there are also levels at $100 or even $25. You know, any little bit helps. So, you know, I think that's where, you know, and I love the idea of, like Rick said, of organizations supporting our, you know, like the same way Kenya's organization helped with the volleyball rings.
Correct.
You see Rick's organization helping
Black
with
Dollar
golf.
Giving. Yeah.
We got to have somebody who's helping with golf. I mean, the track and field program, going from 5 to 12 student athletes going to regionals. Last year it was 5. This year it's 12.
Right.
That's significant. That's over 100%. What is it? 200%? I don't know. Somebody do the math better than me. However you say it, but it's nearly double. It's more than double the number of student athletes. So there's cost associated with that. We've got our look. Hey, let's keep it real. Softball program. That trip went an extra probably 2 days, right? That had to be taken care of. Our baseball team is in Birmingham. We hope that trip goes the full length. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be able to support. And I think now's the time, as you said, where smaller organizations have an opportunity to make a big impact, you know, in ways that will be transformative for our championship golf, championship volleyball, championship track and field, championship baseball, championship softball. Who else am I missing?
Tennis.
Championship tennis. I mean, we continue to support football because that's one thing we all going to support because we love football. So we always going to find a way to give money for football, right? And now we got basketball on board where we got Hall of Fame level coaches leading.
Yes.
We have Hall of Fame basketball coaches leading our 2 programs. I mean, so as look, in the midst of chaos, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. And so I love that as a great reminder by you, Kelvin, Marcus, and even Rick, that when I see those posts or when I hear about it, and you know, it's incumbent upon us to interrupt and interject and say, no. FAMU is going to be all right. I love what you said. FAMU was here before.
All right.
FAMU is going to be here after, and it's going to be strong during because of the people.
Correct.
Because of the people.
Because of the students, because of the faculty, staff, because of the alumni. Absolutely.
Right. So instead of taking...
excellence is still the standard. The standard is the standard. We producing excellence, and that ain't going to stop.
Right. So instead of taking your money and spending at McDonald's, spend it right here on FAMU Golf.
No McDonald's in this part of the country. Tallahassee and surrounding counties.
Amen.
You know, those people who did not listen to their students and the alumni and
faculty
and chastised, you know, and then they have to feel it. So McDonald's, all the McDonald's in this area are owned by a trustee that was put on a day before he voted.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, I got a 9-year-old. She'll be all right.
Yeah, she will. Take her to Wendy's.
That's right. Hey, I went to Culver's today.
There you go. There you go. Jeez Louise. Man. All right. Well, do we have a final result from that last SWAC baseball game that was going on? Do we know who we're going to be playing yet? Because playing right now is the UAPB Grambling State game. So I know you guys are taking a look at that. Good old Knicks and Pacers. It's a 4-point ball game right now. Pacers are down 4, about 26 seconds left in the third period. So this game is going to be a barn burner in the fourth quarter. Love it. Mm-hmm. Marcus, do you have any updated recruiting information that you want to go through over the past week? Any of the new signees? We've had a couple in basketball. We've had some in softball. You're on mute.
Yeah, I've been updating between interviews.
That's all right.
So I'm way behind, but I was just looking up information on our commit today, Antonio Baker, and he's got some
basketball, right?
Yes, basketball. I'm sorry, men's basketball. Antonio Baker, Jr. He was and props to you guys and to Liv. I think retweeted early this morning. I think it came last night or overnight. I made the Division I Panhandle Conference All Conference first team, but also as a high school player at Savannah out of Johnson High School. So I know Gerald might know him. I might keep tracks of him. He was named to the 2022-23 Hoop Scene Georgia Class 3A All-State Boys Team first team, and also Savannah Morning News All Greater Savannah Boys Basketball Team. And his high school senior team lost in their regional final, so basically 2 rounds before the championship game, to Sandy Creek High School, which won the state championship that year. And I think they went 25-5 his senior year. And this past year, at Chipola, I guess his second year, they made the first round of the playoffs. I didn't see what they did before, but he's a 6'3", 185 guard, and he can score.
Oh yeah, Gerald says he's a bucket, so we got a good one coming.
Mm-hmm.
We got a good one coming.
And go ahead.
I was just going to say, where does that, in terms of the numbers with basketball that we have seen, have you been able to do a numbers game on that?
Let me see.
Even if it's rough.
Let's see. We have 4, and hopefully I'm not missing anybody, but 4 commitments outside of the folks that Coach Ward said is coming back. The 5 coming back, but the 4 commitments, we know DeVere Palmer Jr., the forward, and actually Antonio Baker's team, if the brackets are to be believed, he lost to DeVere Palmer's team in the first round of the junior college playoffs for Division I. So we have Devere Palmer, Anthony Knowles, who's coming out of high school, out of Sagemount Prep, Anquan Bolden, and Antonio Baker. Those are the 4 that I have, and I'm still trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody. But so we're up to 9 if we have the 5 returnees coming back. I think I'm missing somebody, but I'm not 100% sure. Not from a returnee, but from a commitment standpoint. But let me check real quick. I don't have the same listing that I have for Olympic sports as I do for football, so I don't have that big spreadsheet I can just pull out. But it looks like 4 transfer commitments, 2 from JUCO, or maybe 3. 2. Let me see. 3 transfer commitments, 2 from JUCO, 1 from the mid-major, that being Anquan Bolden, and a high school signee so far to go with the hopeful 5 returnees that are coming back. And we know the sides is coming back with the returnees who haven't left. So we know Jordan Chapman withdrew from the portal. And I don't know who else has officially withdrawn. But Coach Ward did say last week that 5 players would be staying.
While we're talking basketball, let me jump over to women's basketball because I think since the last week's show, there were 2 commitments.
Camille Jackson transfer, and she was pretty well lauded. She made she was rated the number 65 women's basketball prospect in class of 2022 out of Butler College Prep in Chicago. She started at the University of Illinois at the collegiate level, then went to Miami University of Ohio, and now she's coming to us.
Yep. And then there was also Brooklyn Swan, who I thought he had previously.
Yeah, she was a previous commit. She committed
on the list. She must, but I guess I had seen maybe she reaffirmed her commitment.
I think so. But I have her as committed back in February.
That's what I thought. But obviously I saw, Liv had kind of dropped it. And then I think there was the graphic that also went out with her, which was also, maybe she had just taken her visit. So she was in that. And I can't wait till we go back through that graphic again, because last week, the women's basketball roster, again, we knew it was going to be a whole new roster, but it is really a whole new roster.
It is.
Yeah, because we had one jump in the portal too.
Bostic, Nia Bostic.
Yeah.
Now Nia was a walk-on, wasn't she? She was a walk-on.
She was,
as far as we know.
Because she was marching with the band. She had played over at TCC though, as well. Played in high school, and
Okay, and so that leaves Purefoy, I believe.
As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know, she has not.
Yeah.
And then the other one I would say would be one of the Subarats. She never got in the portal, did she?
I saw one listed.
Or did she?
The sister, you're right. I hadn't seen her. Yvette, the starter, the one who played the most, did, but I
thought she graduated. I thought she graduated though.
But I don't recall the other one.
All right. Well, again, I know hopefully soon we'll get Coach Gordon. I know, she might be watching. She might be catching us. Coach, we still waiting on you to come in. We're still waiting on you to come in, Coach. We still got room for you whenever you want to come in and give us the.
She said she in the kitchen.
I know she's cooking. She's cooking. I know. I'm not gonna mess with Mama when she's cooking. I learned that lesson a long time ago. So I would just sit on the other side of the counter and be like this. Come on. So it's all good. It's all good. Let's see.
We did pick up the couple of volleyball commits.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit the volleyball commits. What we got?
We did talk about Sanaya Mariex. She committed maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
She signed on May 8th. But we picked up Jordan Douglas, whom Coach talked about last week. And she actually gave us the name, so we did a little digging. And She was named Player of the Year for Alabama Community College Conference, and Player of the Year and first team, and she's an outfielder and utility. So I think we're picking up some bats because between her and the other young lady, Michaela Fernandez, I think she committed yesterday.
Right, Seminole State.
Seminole State College. So both of them
player,
look like.
Right? I know. I've got a friend a coach who knows her very well. Spoke very highly of her. Very good player. So. And
we had a visit by someone who actually won a junior college national championship last year, Princess Arredondo. She posted a photo on social media the 16th, which was this past weekend. And so, she posted a photo. She hasn't committed, but she's from Palatka, and her junior college, St. John's River, they won the Division II Softball World Series last year as a freshman. So they're, teeing it up again this year. So she was on a visit, and someone also in that picture I can't identify. So I've been trying to find out who that is. And I don't think it's Miss Fernandez. I think it's somebody else. So we've had some visits even after coming off the SWAC tournament. Had a couple of visits, and they're restocking on the softball side. I haven't seen much from any of the other sports, but basketball, softball, at least 2 commitments, and that's all I've seen. Oh, and football. We did have a football commit today. I think we covered everybody up to that, but from a football standpoint, Daniel Porto, who's another kicker, and I did a quick count. So that means we've got 5 signees or commitments to kickers. So I don't know what's going on. That's a lot of kickers they have in camp. So I don't know if this is the new paradigm in this era of transfers, but between punters and kickers, we've got 5 folks who transferred in. So I don't know what that means for the roster. We'll have to ask Coach if he's at liberty to say. But that's a lot for that one position. We had a couple long snappers, a lot of wide receivers, offers. So we'll see how things play out. And I guess an outgoing we did have, it looks like tight end Kobe Gross committed to, was it Ball State?
Ball State up in Muncie, Indiana.
Yeah, Ball State. And I just saw today that a player that also recruited from Savannah, Elijah Alexander, played for a championship team at Benedictine, and we had him in just for the spring semester. I just saw this evening, right before coming on, that he committed to Eastern Michigan. So,
okay,
interesting.
A lot of buzz. Did you guys catch the Orange Blossom Classic press conference this morning?
Was it a press conference or was it a keep it confidential conference? Because it seemed like it came out of nowhere, right?
I mean, it came out of you talk about left field, like somebody forgot to promote it or something happened, because all of a sudden I looked up and I'm like, wait a minute, what? There's an OBC press conference today? So this was the kickoff press conference with the coaches, head coach from Howard,
and ADs,
Coach Colsey. The ADs were there. So I did catch a snippet of it. Kind of interesting. Yeah, JT, definitely. Surprise. See, that's the thing, Gerald. It should not catch the beat reporter off guard. That is the anti-purpose of the introductory press guy. I got to make a phone call to somebody and ask about that. Anyway, it was it was attended well. I noticed that in true AD Suggs fashion, she was prepared as a media member. Was asking Coach Colsey about the Yeah, he asked Coach Cozy. I forgot what I put it in the chat. He asked Coach Cozy essentially how he planned to keep players focused with all of the surrounding news regarding the president selection. And I think he was like, well, I don't have to answer that because my AD has a microphone. And like he said it was something like the quickest mic grab that is there. You know, she was probably well prepared. But obviously, AD Suggs was there, answered the question appropriately, very similar to your response, Kelvin. You know, FAMU is great. FAMU will be great, and we will continue to strive in the best interest of the student athletes and keep our focus on them. It was very well. It was very well planned. She knew somebody was going to ask. I mean, obviously, you should
absolutely right.
You should not be unprepared. That anytime these things. At this point, there should be it should be well rehearsed and said, because it's just natural that an outside entity is going to ask, and so control what you can control. Essentially, is all you can really respond to. JT,
this is an update. I'm kind of taking it back a little bit. From a different chat, apparently we got a commitment from a transfer wide receiver from Florida State, Solomon Lowry. He's 6'3", 190 from St. Petersburg, Lakewood High School, and he was class of 2023, and he redshirted that year at Florida State.
Now there is speaking of football and transfers, there's a buzz happening. I got a text.
Yeah, I saw it.
From a friend asking about a comment that Cozy had made, that Coach Cozy, somebody had asked Coach Cozy and Howard's coach. Name escapes me right at the moment.
Larry Scott.
Scott, thank you. Scott asked them both about quarterbacks for the upcoming year. Scott didn't. Well, they let Cozy go first, and he had a great answer, by the way. But I guess at some point he had mentioned something about that there is a new or a potential for another quarterback entering the mix. Now, this is outside of Tyler Jefferson. Outside of the guys who played in the spring, of course, Miratovic wasn't at the spring game. But as far as we know, the current quarterbacks are all going to be a part of it. Then you have the Toledo transfer.
RJ Johnson.
Okay, thank you. But I've just seen posted that there's an official visit coming by a young man by the name of Jet Petty.
He was offered a couple of weeks ago.
PDDY. Oh, he was offered.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the bio on Petty. Petty, Peddy. 6'2", 195. It was a first-team all-conference, top 5 passer in California. Played at what was the name of the JUCO he was at? I'm looking here on the site on his
saying
page.
Something. Let me see. 2025 offer.
Well,
I'll get it to you.
Okay, here's his statistics from last year. 2,706 yards passing, 23 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. A unanimous first-team all-conference player, bowl game MVP, top 5 passer in California. The first name is Jet, J-E-T-T. Last name Petty, P-E-D-D-Y. He's all set to make he's making an official visit, I believe, this upcoming weekend, the 23rd to the 24th.
Yes, he's a class of 22 from Torrance High School. and played at Long Beach Community College.
LBCC. Yep, I'm looking at the uniform. Long Beach Community College. Great question, EA. Starting QB for 25. I think Coach Cozy and Coach Burris want a healthy competition.
To say the least.
To say the least.
At every position, just about. I mean, that's where 5 kickers, goodness gracious, you know, and they've been offering wide receivers like it's going out of business this spring. And of course, they've openly admitted they want to bolster and have competition on the offensive line.
And we'll ask once we get Coach on again, but I would imagine some of this is dealing with the unknown of roster management with the settlement pending, as well as the NIL and not just, you know, having some depth at position so that if a kid performs, because that question did come up also at the Orange Blossom Classic about the roster management under these kind of, you know, where you better players, if they have a good year, they moving up, getting these offers. So I think it's both short and I think they want the competition. Iron sharpens iron, but I also think that they want to make sure they have enough talent there. So if they lose someone, they still in a good position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we're at. You know, I don't know that it doesn't necessarily. I don't know if it doesn't say. I saw JT's comment about it says that the guy ain't in the line. I don't know that to be
You don't know
the case.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, right? You know you got guys who have talent, right? They look the part. They Division I looking athletes, but you know they haven't. All of them are young and they haven't done it. Well, you know, they got limited action, right? So Jefferson, he did play. He did start a couple of games where he came from. So you know you have a limited. But all those guys, I know Lisa and Martin case and Jefferson Case in high school, they were champions, man. Led power, you know, traditional power programs at the lower level. So those kids are used to winning. They have the size you were looking for. They have pretty good athleticism. It's just that they just haven't had opportunity yet.
Here's the thing, you know, it's always interesting, and we always have to remember this. The quarterback position is the one position where think of it like this. In all other positions, you have depth of 2 to 3 levels, right? Because whether it be injury or just rising to the competition, you know, the cream rises to the top, right? But multiple guys get an opportunity. So you could have 9 receivers and 4 to 5 will get game time action. You could have 6 running backs. 2 to 3 will get game action. But quarterback position, only one guy usually gets the call on game day. But you still, I think, want to have 4 or 5. Hell, if you can get 6 guys, because you never know what might happen, injury, other circumstances. You know, I don't want anybody quarterback in my team who's afraid of competition. Put it like that. So, you know, it sounds weird, but you know, you want to have somebody who's willing to compete.
All right.
And that's what they're trying to find. You know, especially exactly. You know, when Richardson went down, we looked horrible. We without a doubt. I mean, we didn't think we would, but we did.
Excuse me.
So,
I mean, we only had one person that played, though, right?
Yeah. I mean,
your boy, right?
Wow. No comment. My boy. I'm gonna just let you head that one. I'm gonna let you head that one.
I had to get you.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna let you head that. I'm gonna let you head that. That's all right.
Well, no, things up. I'm gonna put it on Keith. Things up, boy.
Thank you. That was more his boy than mine. You talk about dying on a hill, boy. He was. I tried to be like, no, let that go. No, I think that ship is sailed. Let that go, brother. All right. So last update, as you saw, thanks to Gail, Grambling was up 10-2 baseball tournament. So there's a probability, unless UAPB somehow turns it around, that we're going to play Grambling tomorrow. I want to, if I go back and look at the schedule of the tournament again. Oh, I took that graphic off. Well, what time is that game? Is that the 6 o'clock game?
Yeah, we're the 6 o'clock game.
Okay,
yeah.
So 6 o'clock game tomorrow. Edge rusher. Are we still waiting on an edge rusher? JT says we're still waiting on an edge.
Yes.
I thought I saw a young man.
We did sign. Rusher. We did sign one, but they still trying to bring in another.
Okay.
I think we have one committed. I don't know if he signed. You on mute, Marcus. You on mute, Marcus.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Larry Jones III out of Lakeland, I think a couple weeks ago committed.
Yeah.
Antonio Rozier.
That's right. Kelvin's cousin. Presumably. All right. I don't know what else if we're missing anything. I think we've kind of covered a lot today.
I think so.
Any final thoughts or ads there, Kelvin or Marcus?
No. Nothing I could think of.
Oh, I'll say congratulations to Artisha Polk, who was elected as the new president of the National Alumni Association.
92 in the House, freshman 92.
And Ashley Cooper, who's the first vice. We need to make sure we support them and join our DSOs now more than ever and get involved with leadership so that our voices are heard and we establish these relationships now on the front end, because there will be a presidential search again within the next 2 years. That's going to be this is not a long-term solution. So we need to be prepared to identify some candidates for candidates for the board, leverage our relationships with our different organizations, and execute a plan. Define the plan and execute a plan. So Rally Nation, now's the time. We can't wait this time. We got to be proactive.
What do you got, Marcus? Any final thoughts?
Make sure I'm not on mute.
You're good.
Okay. Yeah, we just got to keep nose to the grindstone and be ever attentive. They kind of snuck this one underneath, over the years. And as far as our school is going to stand strong, and the alumni are gonna hold everyone accountable. We've seen what we're up against on a national scale and in a state scale, and now it's hitting locally. So now we're going to be ever vigilant, and I know we're up to the task.
Hey, at the end of the day, Rally Nation, put your money on Rally Nation. Rally Nation don't lose. We might lose a battle, but we don't lose wars, right? So, Rally Nation Rally Nation gonna Rally Nation, all right? Come on, Rally Nation.
I think it will be interesting to kind of watch and see what our plans and strategies are. I think we have as we talked about, we got a tremendous opportunity in front of us, and it's a great opportunity for people to invest their dollars into our championship athletic programs, and we'll wait to see. I've read some interesting articles, read some, I got a chance to hear the podcast, the one featuring Gillum and Dr. Is it Grant? You're on mute.
Yeah, Kanisha
Grant, and actually my friend Monica Williams, one of my SBI classmates. So I mean, that was a good podcast. That was some great. That was good commentary, and it just reminds us that Chair Harper, when she said this played out like a Lifetime movie, it really did. But more so, I'd almost call it a Netflix series because it was rich. Oh, it was rich with scandal. It was rich with lies, deceit. If you didn't know,
it was more of a reality TV show.
It was a reality TV show, and if you didn't believe in conspiracies, this one brought it home. I was gonna try to start doing for one of my shows to try to do a top 5 conspiracies that turned out to be real, like top 5 real conspiracies. This one has to be in the top 5. I don't know if it's quite number 1, but it definitely is top 5.
Hey, to Hollow's point.
What a Hollow say?
So now that this decision has been made, remember I said there's in chaos there's opportunity. Now's the time where folks have to deliver. So P3s, this is a perfect time to launch an athletic P3. It's a perfect time to put the full court press on. And it's probably attractive to the other side as well because one, they need a win and they need something big to try to, get some support. And two, a P3 is helpful for them because they got people in the P3 business. So it's always going to come to them. But this is a great time. And we'll see what the next week or two look like.
Yeah, we will. That part right there. Look, we didn't want to. We had too much on our plate today to get into them. We'll talk about them next week.
Yeah,
we'll talk about them next week. We'll talk about those jokers next week. As somebody eloquently put, the hateful eight.
Them long soliloquy, that was nonsensical. And man, just say you were bought. That you sold out. I mean, it is what it is. And you will be held accountable. Absolutely. Some of y'all, man, I'm sorry. Those Rattlers who did it. Sorry, not sorry.
Let me ask this question. Should there be a movement to change the name of the Lawson Center?
That has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with him. It's not named after him.
relative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nah.
but you can't control your relatives, man. I mean,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Okay.
You got
Now to that point.
Yeah.
To that point, and I sent you guys some earlier. Who was it? I forgot what arena it was, but they just named the court after someone. And is that another opportunity? But that could be for another subject for another day.
Well, I don't know, man. Look, again, we'll get into talking more. We as our friend Rick Kinsey said, we've seen them in action already.
Can't be trusted. Cannot be trusted.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
But I do appreciate Judge Perry.
Yep.
Judge Perry. Who,
Name the four. Name the four.
Ain't afraid of none of y'all.
Name the FAMU four. them the trustees we gonna rock with.
Is that what we call them, the FAMU four?
The fam, yeah. I just came up with it. The FAMU four.
The FAMU four. Where did I see their names? Obviously, Chair Harper, Judge Perry, Craig Reed, and SGA President
Zayla. Is it Bryant?
Bryant,
the homegirl.
Zayla Bryant
from Atlanta.
And she's the SGA president for the 25-26 year, correct?
Yes. And actually, I have it in a text file. I don't think I sent it to you, but I copied the BOT.
You know what? Somehow we've got to get her on the show, because I feel like we got to find a way. And look, we've talked. I love the fact that we get a chance to talk to student athletes.
Yep.
But from and look, whether we've served in student government back or somehow worked in student activities or different things when we were on campus, I would love to hear from her perspective the issues that not only just the issues that concern students today, but also how students can be more engaged. Because that's something that I think we talk about as alums, that, what is it that the student body, where is the disconnect? What is it that students, is it really a thing about having more distractions, more activities, more things to do? Where's the disconnect? How can more students be engaged than what it appears? And again, I'm going off what I see, right? But I would love to be able to have her on, because I think she's an outstanding voice. And again, we want to make sure we lift her up and support her the same way we're going to support, and lift up Craig Reed, Trustee Harper, and Judge Perry, and so, we may not always agree on things, but we know they for FAMU.
Yeah, absolutely.
We know they are for FAMU.
They stood on business last week. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right, folks. My Pacers are down 5 with 34 seconds to go, which means
Reggie Miller time.
If that happens, Kelvin, I will be talking ish for the rest of the week. If we come back down 5 with 34 seconds left, and every New York Knicks fan in that building has got to be remembering what happened 30 years ago, 25 years ago, I would vote. At this point, I'd vote for it. They wouldn't do it, though. They don't want that smoke. All right. Let's get out of here, fellas. Again, got to thank our student athletes and our head coach, Coach Ellenwood, Nia Blocker, Ariana Ladson, Caitlin Smith, Kirk Dawkins, all of them. Thank you guys for coming on the show. And all of them will be competing in the NCAA regionals, which are next week, Wednesday through Saturday, beginning May 28th. So look out for more information on that. FAMUathletics.com for the full list. 12 student athletes is what we learned. 12 student athletes, which is nearly double or over double went last year. We had 5 go last year. This year we got 12. So congrats to the coaching staff and all of the student athletes who qualified. Excuse me, should have hit the mute. And then thanks again to Rick Kinsey for coming on. Want to encourage you guys, if you haven't already, make a donation to our golf program, our championship golf program. Again, the fundraiser is for the covered canopy, okay, for the golf program. Again, so text FAMU Golf to 41444. All right. And you can donate at any level, but they have set levels of 1,000, 750, 500, 250, 100, 25, whatever amount you want to give. But let's invest in champions.
That's right.
To use a popular phrase that we like to throw around, but this time we really are investing in champions. All right. Encourage everybody to go check out the BCSN Pod Zone. The podcast features all of the shows that are on the Black College Sports Network. Can be found on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Everywhere that you listen to podcasts, download, rate, review, subscribe. It's all helpful. We've seen a great uptick in numbers. That's partly because of you. Well, all because of you. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in, downloading the show. Yeah. All right. Good time, Ashton. Yes, Ashton said, "Hey, it's winning time, Ashton. It's that point. It's that point where we pull off the miracle here. So get ready. Get ready. Knicks fans are about to their Knicks are about to let you down." I love it. All right, that's gonna do it. So for Marcus and Kelvin, I'm Bryan. Rattler Nation, be well, stay vigilant, stay strong, keep fighting.
Unite.
Resist, and more importantly, fangs up, keep striking, and strike again. Don't let up. Don't let up. Don't let up. All right. Peace out. Jesus.